Donald Trump thought he was being clever when he decided to issue an executive order ending the subsidy payments to insurance companies required under the Affordable Care Act. He thought he was being clever because he was going to sabotage Obamacare from the inside and then let it fail and let American citizens get pissed off. Well, here's something I'm sure Donald Trump didn't quite think about. As it turns out, the people that are going to be hardest hit by this decision are people that live in states that voted for Donald Trump. 70% of the people who purchase health insurance through the health insurance exchanges set up by the Affordable Care Act, the people who will be affected by this executive order, 70% live in states that voted for Donald Trump in 2016. We're talking about 4 million American citizens that are going to see their premiums rise that voted for Donald Trump. 4 million of his loyal followers, potentially a few million more, are going to be among the hardest hit by the president's decision. 9 out of the top 10 states that rely on these subsidies to be able to afford health insurance for their citizens, 9 of them voted for Donald Trump. The one that didn't was Massachusetts. And we're talking about states all over the country: Kentucky, Florida, Mississippi, Arkansas. These states are about to get shellacked with higher premiums because of a decision made solely by Donald Trump out of spite. They're going to suffer because the man that they thought was a good pick for president is so obsessed with President Obama and what Obama did that he can't function as a human being anymore, let alone as a president. But that's what happens, folks. All of these Republican voters out there who said, you know what, I want something different. I want to go with the anti-establishment Republican. I want to go with the businessman. Let's run government like a business. How's that working out for you at this point? How's it going to work out for you when these low-income Americans who rely on these subsidies have to pay higher premiums, and then you're about to turn around and get slapped with higher income taxes because the Republican tax plan is going to raise your taxes as well? People in red states rely more on federal government assistance than people in blue states. That is a simple fact. Every study that's looked at it has shown us that. And they're about to get destroyed by this Republican administration, by this Republican Congress and Republican Senate, and they don't even realize it. At the end of the day, when these people are up for re-election and they're back in their home states having to talk to these people whose lives have been destroyed by their own policies, they're going to turn around and somehow blame it on the Democrats. And most of these people are actually going to believe it. Why? Because they don't pay attention. They're not paying a bit of attention, because if they were, they never would have voted for these idiots in the first place. I firmly believe that if we had everybody in this country start paying attention, do a little reading, turn off the Fox News for 5 minutes, I firmly believe that the Republican population in DC would dwindle down to about 2 or 3. Because at the end of the day, the people who are out there putting Republicans in office, it's not just the millionaires and billionaires. It's the people living off government assistance who think that Republicans have their best interests at heart. People who think one day they're going to make it into that top 1%. And that's why we need those tax cuts, because once they get there, they're going to want low taxes. But they don't realize that Republican policies are not only keeping them in poverty, they're trying to push them into an early grave. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see here on Ring of Fire, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel. You can see the little subscribe button down there, but if you're watching it on another device where you can't see it, go to youtube.com/TheRingOfFire, hit subscribe, be notified every time we get a new video.